What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Today we'll be looking at the latest Arsenal transfer news, as well as an update from the Euros. Obviously it kicked off last night as well, and there's been a game today as well. Lots of transfer speculation going on around Arsenal at the moment, so we'll catch up on all that. The latest on Ben White, Correa we're being linked with from Lazio, Rodrigo De Paul from Udinese, Kieran Tierney new contract, and all the latest transfer news, people. People saying the audio is not sounding great. Let me sort this out, people. Apologies. All right, let me know how that is now. People saying the sound quality is not great and an echo. What's it like now, people? What's it like now? Let me know. Maybe the wire was a bit loose. Audio ain't good. Let me know. Does it sound better now, people, in the comments? Let me know. Much better. There you go. Right, let's get into the latest story. Everyone tuning in, thank you very much for tuning in. Smash a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And the latest transfer news that came out last night, I was actually going to make a video last night. I was at the watch along at Box Park last night with AFTV. It was good fun, to be fair there. Obviously, this story broke last night. David Ornstein is back. He's been gone for a little while. He hasn't really got too many big Arsenal stories correct for a while. But he came out with this story, and this was a massive shock. David Ornstein says, Arsenal are preparing a move for Brighton defender Ben White. No club-to-club contact yet, but expected in due course. Could take 40 to 50 million pounds. Unlikely to be insurmountable for Arsenal. Interest first reported by John Cross. Now, Ben White, for me, I mean, let's look at one thing here. We've just gone for Buendia, a player that apparently we've been watching for a year that was clearly one of our top targets. And we couldn't get the deal done at, what, £30 million plus 5 million in add-ons. We couldn't get that deal done. We're now preparing to offer 40 to 50 million pounds for a centre-back. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually think we could do with a centre-back. I know we have got Saliba, and I do rate Gabriel, but I'm still not convinced that the likes of Pablo Mari, Rob Holding, Callum Chambers, I'm not convinced that those guys get you in the top four. So going for a centre-back is fine, right? My question is Ben White worth 50 million pounds? Is Ben White worth 50 million pounds? Now, I actually think Ben White's a decent centre-back, right? I do. I think he's decent. But Liverpool have just signed Konate from RB Leipzig for 35 million pounds. This is a guy that's played Champions League, Bundesliga for a few years, got lots of experience at a top level. What are they called? Everton bought Ben Godfrey for 25 million pounds. He's an England international now. Looks a good player. Why is it that when Arsenal go for these kind of players, they cost so much money? I don't understand it. How come other clubs seem to find bargains when we turn up, we get ripped apart? Do you know what I mean? Like you're saying here, Sib, the priority is a centre mid, a right back. Yeah, maybe a goalkeeper if Leno is to go. We definitely need a right back. We need one, maybe even two centre midfielders. And obviously, depending on what happens with Lacazette, we might need a striker. What happens with Leno, we might need a goalkeeper. And we need a backup left back. And my question would be, if we're spending £50 million on a centre back, we must be preparing to spend a lot of money this summer, because we need 3 or 4 players on top of this if we buy a centre back. So this deal for me just seems like a strange one. Tim says we're getting our pants pulled down as usual. Typical Arsenal, you know. I remember when we were being linked with Pepe, they were talking about he would cost 50 million. He ends up costing 72 million, you know. Tom said Arsenal tax. Why and why do we pay Arsenal tax? We're not even that club that like splashes money on a regular basis. Chris said Leeds bid of 35 million got rejected last season for Ben White. So yeah, there you go. Clearly, if we paid 35, if a club offered 35 and it was rejected, they're going to ask for more money on top of that. Obviously, listen, don't get me wrong. Ben White is a good player. Right-sided centre-back, good on the ball, aggressive in the air. Apparently has really impressed for England. And he obviously came in to replace Trent when he got injured in the friendly. Not worth 40 to 50, but it's because he's English and young. For me, 30 million would be right. But Ben White is a Rolls Royce at centre-back. Can play right back, centre back, and CDM. That's how good he is on the ball. I mean, someone just said there, forgive me, someone said he's a B-Tech John Stones. Tries to get on the ball, make things happen, but I'm assuming, you're saying he's not as good as John Stones. Charlie said, Charles Watts said that Edu is currently on holiday in Portugal for his daughter's birthday. What a joke. Says it all about our club. He takes annual leave as soon as the transfer window opens. I mean, what I will say, and listen, guys, you've heard me criticising Edu lately, but I think we have to understand that a lot of these deals can get done without him having to be in London, so I'm not going to criticise him. I saw a picture go out of him on a jet ski in Portugal, and all the Arsenal fans were hammering him, going, "You're meant to be signing our players. Like, what are you doing on a jet ski in Portugal?" Like, listen, he doesn't have to be in London to get deals done. But obviously, Arsenal fans are emotional right now. They want transfers. We just flopped on the Buendia deal. And then you see your director of football, swinging around on a jet ski in the Algarve in Portugal. Ain't the best of looks. But I have to say, I don't think it's a big, big problem. I remember Arsene Wenger signing. He said that he signed Alexis Sanchez while at the World Cup. So, you don't have to be in London to sign these players. But yeah. Yeah, man was dealing with the jet ski well, but just deal with the transfers, correctly, I'm getting to a point with Arsenal now where it's just like, come on. We're getting linked with player after player after player. Clearly nobody really knows who we want. But the problem seems to be Arsenal don't seem to know who they want. As I keep saying, we finished 8th last year. We're out of Europe for the first time in 25 years. We should be the club with the plan in place, and we should be the club that are acting on that quicker than anyone. Liverpool have signed Konate. Aston Villa have signed Buendia. Chelsea have made an offer for Hakimi. They're trying to negotiate for Haaland. City want Harry Kane. Man United are negotiating Jadon Sancho. Like, how are you supposed to bridge that gap? But I just want to know what you guys think on Ben White. For any of you, listen, I've seen him a few times, but I'm sure some of you guys have seen him more than me. How good do you think he is? And, is he somebody that you look at and think, I'd take him at Arsenal? Like, would you be happy if he came to Arsenal? Maybe put aside the transfer fee. Would you actually be happy with Ben White coming to Arsenal? To me, I just think this is 15 to 20 million pound too much. And I tell you what, I have said for a long time, so this may come across as a little bit hypocritical. I've said for a long time that I want Arsenal to sign Premier League players because I think sometimes when you go into a transfer market and sign 5 or 6 players from outside of the Premier League in the same window, often you don't see the best of those players for a couple of years because they're learning the language. They're getting used to, a lot of other countries have a break over the Christmas period, 2 weeks off. We play 5 or 6 games over Christmas. I think you've seen it with Pepe. He's been at the club 2 years. He only just looks like he's settled at the club. So I am for buying players in the Premier League. If we'd signed 4 players now, or 3 players, if we'd got Basuma, if we'd got Max Aarons or Lamptey or Hakimi or a right back, and then we were signing Ben White, I'd be like, okay, I can get my head around that. But what I don't understand is, it's like when you were a kid and your mum sent you to the shop to get milk and you come back with a chocolate bar. Like, well, all right, you got yourself a chocolate bar, but where's the milk? You know what I mean? You need breakfast cereal, you need the milk. And this is what I feel like Arsenal are doing. We need to get some milk from the shop, and we're coming back with crisps and chocolate, man. This is not the thing that we need first, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Get what's necessary, and then you can add to it. But Arsenal are moving a little bit mad for me. It's so typical of Arsenal. Every Arsenal fan around the world is saying, go and get Basuma from Brighton. So we go to Brighton, ring Brighton, open negotiations. They're probably thinking, right, Arsenal, they're going to come for Basuma. And we go, no, we don't want Basuma. We want Ben White for 50 million. Typical Arsenal, isn't it, man? The gift that keeps on giving of Arsenal. Nicky said, I don't dislike Ben White. Good young English talent. He seemed decent, but spending that amount on him seems a bit out of order. I would take him, yeah, if he was cheap. And I'm kind of on that role of thought as well. I think he is decent, but I think we're being overpriced. I like Ben White, 100% want him at Arsenal. I can guarantee if this deal happens, it's because the structure of the payment plan will suit Arsenal. They're probably saying give us 10, 15 million quid up front, pay the rest over 5 years. It works for Arsenal. Big up Franny Green in here, FFTV people. You saw him on here yesterday. We did a Euros preview. Me and him was at Box Park last night for their AFTV watch-alongs. Great fun. Lots of good people there. And don't forget, go and subscribe to his channel. Still time to go and subscribe. He has got a £250 giveaway on his channel for hitting 500 subscribers. So go and check him out. Big up, Fran. PG said, I'd take him 100%, but we need midfielders. I agree. Jansen said he's okay, in my opinion. Nothing special, way too expensive. Someone saying in the chat he's not much better than Rob Holding. What I think it is, Mikel Arteta, he wants to play out from the back, right? It's clear that he wants to play out from the back. I've said it so many times in watch-alongs. The way he makes Rob Holding get on the ball constantly, but Rob Holding's not that good on the ball. So I think Mikel Arteta's probably sat there and thought, I need to get a ball-playing centre-back, someone who is comfortable at taking the ball, at playing, at starting moves. He'll want a ball-playing right-back as well. Tierney's comfortable at left-back. So that's why I think they're targeting this type of player. And as I said, even though it's 40 to 50 million, I think the structure of this deal will suit Arsenal. This will be like Pepe. You know, when we bought Pepe for 70 million, everyone was like, how can Arsenal spend 70 million? Clearly, it was the structure of the deal that worked for Arsenal. Sidon says Ben is good on the ball. Hey, you're only hating because Arsenal won him, man. I know if he was going Leicester, you'd be bigging him up. Listen, though, I think he's decent, but as I said, I think 15 million pound too much. But it's the Premier League tax, the English tax, the fact that he's, 23 years of age, and that's where it is. If he was going Man United or someone, we'd probably be big in this signing up. It's just because Arsenal are one of them teams that when they do something, when they move for a player, it kind of doesn't make sense when they do it. So we're cautious, we're pessimistic. We're going to look at everything that we don't like about Ben White, when maybe we should be saying, do you know what? 23 years of age, England international, physical, good on the ball, can grow in the future. Maybe it's a signing that we should be getting on board with. I don't know. Like I say, some of you guys have probably watched him a lot more than me. So I don't know. I don't know where this one's going. MO7, Curtis, you should collaborate with Blind Goonie. Yeah, I've been on Daniel's channel, I was on there about a month ago. So, yeah. No, about 6 weeks ago, I think I was on there. We did a show for about an hour. Big up, Daniel. Andrew said, big up, Curtis. Showed up to my son's match 3 hours away, and the opposing team changed the time, so I'm 2 hours early. Time to spend time on the stream. There you go, man. Something goes wrong, something good comes from it. Big up, Andrew, man, and good luck to your kids today. Hopefully a good performance. Hot out there as well today, man. Very hot outside. Ezel said, big up, Curtis, bro. If Arsenal are ambitious to sign a player for 40 million, then use that for Basuma. Yeah, listen, like I said, Ben White, I don't mind that, but it's not the deal that we should have done, first signing of the transfer window. Imagine what Brighton were thinking when we opened negotiations. They must have thought, we've heard all this talk about Basuma and you've come here for Ben White. I think Brighton will be willing to let him go because They've got Ben White. They've got Lewis Dunk. They've got Webster. If they can get 50 million for him, I know they're having problems in the striker department. What I would be doing here if I was Arsenal, 100% for me, I would give a player to Brighton to reduce the transfer fee. Now, Brighton were being linked with Eddie Nketiah. I heard a rumor about Reece Nelson as well. For me, I'm saying to them, listen, man, take Eddie Nketiah, drop 15 million quid off the price, or take Nelson, drop 15 off, Eddie Nketiah on 35 mil, I can get my head around that, but straight cash, 50 million. And like people are saying, man, yeah, Saliba, what does this mean for him? Where's the milk? I'm telling you, like I said, man, Arsenal are going shop. They're not buying what's necessary first. Get what you need. Do you know what I'm saying? You get what's on the shopping list before you start getting the extras that you want, the little bit of chocolate and the popcorn and that. Get the bread, the milk, and the meat, and your veg and your fruit first. Arsenal, they can't cook a meal with what they're buying. It's mad. Typical Arsenal, man. But Saliba, man, you have to feel for Saliba. You really do. The guy goes on loan. I believe he was named in the French team of the season in 6 months on loan at Nice. Right-sided centre-back. Finally thinking, right, I'm back to Arsenal this summer. I've had a nightmare at Arsenal so far. I'm back. That right-sided centre-back slot is open. And Arsenal go, let's go and spend 50 million on Ben White. And they're not signing Ben White to put him on the bench. So clearly that means that Saliba could have a very... Maybe Mikel Arteta sees him as nothing more than a squad player, which is a shame for a guy that cost £27 million and hasn't been given a chance. Zenith said, Yves Bissouma, Ruben Neves and Partey in midfield, solid midfield, strikers stay forward, play on the counter. What do you think? We have ESR for creativity role when needed. I've said many times, bro, that when you do not have a great midfield, I think you have to play 3 in midfield rather than Arsenal play the 2 in the pivot with a number 10. I don't think you should always play with a number 10 when your midfield is not that good, I think we should have actually played 4-3-3 at times. So, yeah, I agree with you. But I can't see Arsenal, Zenith, buying Bissouma and Ruben Neves. You're looking at £70 million there probably for those two. I don't see Arsenal spending that. We haven't even sold anybody yet. Swap White for Eddie. Well, listen, obviously it's not going to be a straight swap. We would have to pay a lot of money, but they were being linked with Eddie Nketiah, believe it or not. Somebody does want him. Fancy Codemaster, Ben White, Bissouma, Pereira, Aarons, all Premier League proven. These are what we need. I like Pereira. In fact, I like 2 Pereiras. I like Pereira at Leicester, the right back. I would take him. And I like Pereira at West Brom, who obviously... Kevin Campbell said yesterday that he's heard that Arsenal are chasing him. When Kev comes on the show, I'm going to grill him. I think Kev's nicked that off my channel. Now, apparently Kev has heard it. Obviously, Kev is ex-West Brom and ex-Arsenal, and he said that he's heard it. So, listen, I really hope that rumour, comes to fruition. Yeah, run the likes up, people. Over 750 of you in here. I realise now that with the Euros and the weather, some of my stream times may have to change because usually I stream at like 2 o'clock. But there's a game that kicks off at 2 o'clock now every day. So, if there's a big game on TV, I don't really want to stream at the same time. So the streams may move to kind of between games now. So it may be around 4 o'clock. Although sometimes we'll do 2 o'clock once the Euros goes down to like 2 games a day rather than 3. Curtis, would you really want Ben Foster? Nah, not Ben Foster, bro. I know he's got a good YouTube channel. And I'd like to get him on this channel at some stage, actually. I know one of the Watford players, Andre Gray, so I'm going to have to give him a little nudge and see if he can get Ben Foster on it. Marvo said, love your channel. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Jamar said, Ben White's better than Bob Balding. Yeah, I mean, it's not too difficult. Maybe give him Bob Balding in return, man. Someone said Ben White is basically a slightly better Bob Balding with a better hairline. Big up, Zenith. Thank you very much for becoming a member on the channel. Much appreciated, bro. Really appreciate your support. And like I said, man, loads of content coming up. Yeah, I'm going to do some watch-alongs. I may do the Belgium one tonight, actually. I just find sometimes the first round of fixtures in the Euros can be quite cagey. And, I don't want to... I'm somebody, I don't like to do anything half-hearted. I don't want to do a watch-along where I'm kind of like half asleep during the game. I want to be enthusiastic and energetic. Sometimes I like to wait until it's a bit more like crunch time in the group before at the moment, I'm taking it easy with the watch-alongs. I'll do the odd one. I'm definitely doing the England game tomorrow. I'll do all the England games. But yeah, I'll be doing more probably in the next week or so, probably give it a week and then I'll be doing daily ones. Ty Samuels said, just in the park watching the local cricket and listening to the stream, loving the show. Big up Ty Samuels for tuning in. I have to enjoy the weather out there, man. Curtis, join Saeed on his channel for the watch along. Yeah, listen, I might even do that sometimes. If I'm not doing one, I'll jump on because I know Saeed's having James Redmond and people on. Ben White would not be a bad decision for me, just as long as this is not the entire budget. Yeah, honestly, I just hope that we've got a lot more money to spend after this. Just looking at Ben White, I mean, listen, stats are very difficult to judge when you're looking at defenders. Omar said the game today was crap. I mean, listen, first off, I was half asleep, and this is why I'm thinking sometimes I'm like, do you know what? I don't want to shortchange the community, man. I don't want to give you guys watch-alongs when I'm just struggling to watch the game and I don't give you that enthusiasm and you're not going to enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, the last 20 minutes was decent, but I saw Arsenal's assistant manager with the AirPods on the touchline. I was like, nah, man, this is too much for me, Ans94, thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, send Nketiah, Bellerin, El Neni, Holding, Willian and Edu and Pep's Coleman to Brighton dumping ground. They'd probably reject half of them, man. They wouldn't even want them, But yeah, listen, I'd have no problem with every one of them going there. Even the guy with the AirPods, take him as well. I need to know what he's listening to. Can you have Saeed and Fran on your next podcast? Yeah, probably can do that. Obviously, Fran, I speak to on a regular, can get him on. And obviously, me and Saeed, we want to do some more content over the summer as well. So yeah, definitely could look at doing that. Big up Sheets of Metal. Or join Blind Guru who's doing the Finland game. Bro, Daniel, that you give yourself a tough one there, man. Finland. Do you know what I mean? That's a tricky one, but I respect the work ethic, man. A lot of people are doing a lot of watch-alongs, but I'm going to ease into it, man, and wait until the games are a bit more like crunch time, Although, listen, we've had a few goals in the first two games, but I'm taking it slow with the Euros. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Some of these guys now, they're doing watch-alongs, 1 or 2 a day. Give it 2 weeks. These men will be burnt out. Do you know what I mean? So I just want to, jog. You often see them marathons, man, in the Olympics. There's a man winning, for the first 5 miles, and then they get round the bend on the last 100 meters, and a man just sprints past him. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm chilling. Yeah, the Wales first half, for real, was just a proper boring game. Anyway, listen, back to Ben White. I mean, listen, like I said, his stats don't say much, but what I'm intrigued by these stats, I mean, listen, he hasn't scored or assisted. He ain't going to do that. I mean, 4 yellow cards, 1 red card. But what I'm really intrigued about Ben White is 1 season at Brighton. He's 23 years of age. He turns 24 in October. 1 season at Brighton. And you can get a £50 million move. It's a great time to be a professional footballer in the Premier League. You can get 1 decent season for a team that finished, 5th, 6th from bottom, and you can get a £50 million move. I was reading yesterday that Ben White's on 35 grand a week, which, listen, in regular concept, 35 grand a week is huge money. But in terms of the Premier League, that's peanuts. Arsenal can just say, you're on 35, we'll double it. There's 70, he'll be all over it. But I just find that incredible. Now, he was in the Leeds team that won promotion. Apparently, he was fantastic in that team. 46 games at Leeds. Before that, he was at Peterborough United in League One, I believe. 15 games. And the year before that, or in fact, the same year, he was playing for the under-23s at Brighton. So he's only had 2.5 seasons of first-team football. 1 half a season in League One, a full season in the Championship, a full season in the Prem, one England cap, and we're saying 50 million. It's amazing. These prices, man, that players are costing are going through the roof, man. But listen, I've seen him. I think he's decent. 50 million, I think he's overpriced. What I will say, if Arsenal go for this deal, they have to spend money on what we need. Like I said, man, when you go shop, you need bread and milk, get the bread and milk. Don't buy chocolate and crisps. Get what's necessary for your meal first. Have those afters afterwards. You know what I mean? We need a right back. We need 2 centre midfielders. We need a backup left back. But if Ben White's the start of a big transfer window, I don't mind it. But chuck a player to Brighton and reduce that transfer fee. So Ben White, £50 million. Only Arsenal could go to Brighton and go and get a player, you know, when we clearly need Basuma. John Sylvester says, big up Big C, you managed to find out info to go to Florida for pre-season. Keep mashing the likes up. People, I was looking into it yesterday. I got a little bit of feedback. I believe that you can only travel to America if it's classed as business. So I would have to like put this down as a business trip. But it would be that because obviously I'll be going over there to make content. And there are still tickets available for the game. So it's possible. I would love to go over there. Obviously, Arsenal play Everton and Inter Milan in Florida, Orlando at the end of July. I am going to try my best to get over there. I would love to. Priceless Truth said, Curtis, 75% of the players linked. There's no interest. Yeah, listen, this is how it is in the transfer window. Half of these players or more, we're probably not even interested in. But I think this one's got legs because Ornstein is saying it with chest. Usually he gets fed little stories, you know, and then they put it out to see the reaction. Karima said, hello, bro. Whoever is in charge of Arsenal scouting and transfers should be charged for criminal negligence. I do not trust English players. They disappear at 28. It's a bit harsh. Listen, I agree with what you're saying in terms of Arsenal transfers. I think there are still some players who perform later on in their career, but I just think it's hard, isn't it? Because even me, I was being a little bit hypocritical. On one hand, I say, why do Arsenal never sign players from the Premier League? There's no adjustment period. But then they go for a player and they cost 30% more than they should just because they're from the Premier League or they're English. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword, if you like. Big up Broads, man. Man said the Broads effect. Hey, hope you're well, bro. Hope you're well. Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you handle biz at that game tomorrow, man. Sorry I can't make it. Nikki Thompson said there is a young American woman. She knows Arsenal. She might be interesting to bring in. Yeah, do you know what? Somebody forwarded me a page because I actually want to work with a couple of American Arsenal content creators and you know, get their perspective on everything that's kind of happening with Arsenal and Stan Kroenke, and someone passed on her details. So I'll definitely be looking to work with some Arsenal content creators over there in America, and her name did pop up. So we'll have a look at that. People saying Arsenal are interested in Van der Beek. I haven't seen too much about that. Would you guys be happy? I like Van der Beek. It's just kind of, you know, once a player goes to United, it makes you not want him as much because you're just like, if he comes to Arsenal and does well, it's like, oh, we've signed another flop from Man United. I actually think he's a decent player. That guy D said, my girlfriend's a travel agent. If you need cheap flights and stuff, bro, hit me up, man. Real talk. Because I was looking, I think flights are about 500 to Florida. Yo, if you can do anything, hit me up, bro. Much appreciated. Nicholas said, Big C, we're actually Enquiry FC. That's all we are. We must just ring people. Edu must be like, how much for Ben White? 50 million. Okay, we'll get back to you. And then he just rings up Ornstein. Listen, Dave, tell him we want Ben White for 50 million. Like, we are literally Enquiry FC, you know. Do we need a central defender? Listen, I think you can always improve your team. And let's face it, our centre-backs are not that good. You know, we might have a lot of them, but how many of them are good enough if we're trying to get back in Europe and the Champions League? I like Gabriel. I think he's got potential. Pablo Mari's okay. Holding and Chambers, to me, are average. I think Chambers is maybe even a little bit better than Holding. But neither one of them are great. Louise has gone. But obviously you got Mavropanos and Saliba coming back from loan. They should be given a chance. Watch his link with Mbolo tomorrow. Yeah, he was really good today. Really good. Watched him ripping Wales apart. It was interesting that I saw after he's only scored 5 goals this season. So you never know. You watch a player, you go, oh my days, he looks unplayable. Arsenal should get him. I looked at the stats, 5 goals in 31 games for Mönchengladbach. So this is what happens, man. Sometimes players, someone will watch them in a tournament, they get impressed and they go and sign them, Big up, bro. I was saying Broads effect because people be making content then jumping up. Hey, yeah, typical Broads, Everyone's waiting for Broads to make content. Where you at, bro? DVV said, just call Edu for flights, hotels, and transfers. Yeah, he'll sort out the flights and hotels. He's not the best at transfers, though, is he? South London's finally smash the likes, people. 900 watching. Yeah, we're up to 950 now, man. Really appreciate it. I realize it's a Saturday, it's sunny, people are probably having barbecues and you're watching the Euros. I purposely picked 4 o'clock just to sandwich it between the games so I'm not interrupting, your Euros, watching the Euros. Donny said, big up Curtis, it's concerning how they've watered down the hype on signing Basuma. Could they be working in the background? Regardless, we need an improvement from Xhaka, 100%, bro. And Arsenal seem like, and Arteta seems like one of those managers that it's like, you just meet them people who in life, when something's obvious and you're telling them to do it, they just won't do it. They'll cut off their nose to spite their face. It's almost as if Arteta's looking at the fan base and we're like, get Basuma. Everyone's like, Basuma. And he's going, just to prove you guys wrong, we're not going to sign Basuma. We're going to go to Brighton and buy Ben White, and then we're going to buy Ruben Neves. Imagine buying Ben White for 50 mil and Ruben Neves for 35, 40 mil. You've spent 90 million on 2 players that you're not even sure if they're going to make a significant improvement on your team. That's my problem with these kind of signings. I think Ben White's a decent player. Is he good enough to be at Arsenal? Yeah, I think he is. He's better than Holding, Chambers and them, man. But 50 million, how much better is he than them guys? Ruben Neves, is he better than Granit Xhaka? For me, yeah, I think he is. Is he 40 million pounds better than him? Probably not. Probably not. I think Basuma would make a massive impact. Hakimi would have made a massive impact. We're so stubborn. It doesn't make no sense. We need a new owner more than anything. I mean, listen, we all agree on that, bro. But unfortunately, the owner is the most difficult person in a football club probably to get out the door. They don't have to go. Big up DG in the chat, man. Hope you're well, bro. Keep doing your thing as well on your channel, man. Always tune in when I get an opportunity. He said all of this to end up getting some retired done. You know how we move, man. You know how Arsenal move. Edu celebrating his anniversary. Man's chilling, fam. Do you know what I'm saying? Man's swinging jet skis around the Algarve in Portugal. You know what I mean? While we're desperate for transfers, this guy don't care, fam. But like I said, listen, I'm not going to be too harsh on Edu because you don't have to be in London to do a transfer. Most of this stuff is done on the phone and email and all that business, you know what I mean? So you don't have to be there, but it's definitely not the best look when you're desperate for transfers and your director of football is, all over his jet ski. Just like every transfer window, we are getting linked with everyone. We might get linked with you next. Nah, I'm too expensive for these, man. You can't pay me, couple mil up front and then the rest over 7 years, fam. You have to bring straight cash business we deal with, But nah, typical Arsenal. We're linked FC. That's what we are. LinkedIn. You know what I mean? Yeah, bring in DG at right back, man. He ain't going to put up for the foolishness that Bellerin's been getting roasted all year, man. You know what I mean? Get DG at right back. You know what I mean? Get Broads and me up top. We can't do worse than Eddie. You know what I'm saying? Ben said Neves is levels above Xhaka. How many levels above him, though? Real talk. I like Neves, I'm like anyone, man. Neves was being linked with Man City for 60 mil a couple years ago? I always say certain players need a certain team. They need a certain system. Ruben Neves could do that role what Rodri is doing in that Manchester City team. That's why they wanted him. Do Arsenal need a midfielder like that in their team? Is that the midfielder that gets the best out of Thomas Partey? By the looks of the players that we're going for, you can see what Mikel Arteta wants to do next season. He wants Ben White, ball-playing centre-back, similar to John Stones. He wants a Nana in goal, ball-playing goalkeeper, way more comfortable on the ball than Leno. You can already see the picture he's trying to paint. Play out from the back. Goalkeeper, Onana, into the feet of Ben White, into the feet of Ruben Neves. He'll probably get a right back that's comfortable on the ball. We're going to be a B-Tech Man City, bro. But I don't know where that gets you in the Premier League, unfortunately. You know, maybe it gets you back in Europe, in Europa League. Maybe it gets you Champions League. Maybe it gets you Europa Conference League. Do you know what I'm saying? Due to sign Neves and say, just work your magic. Bruv, you know what time it is. They've probably rang up. They've probably called Brighton and said, listen, Basuma. Bear in mind, Basuma's been one of their best players this season, if not their best player. So they're going to say, listen, if you want him, we want 40 mil. We want nearly all of it up front because he's going to be hard or impossible to replace for Brighton. They can afford to let Ben White go because they've got Webster, they've got Lewis Dunk, you know, so they can probably take the 50 mil, get a little other centre-back and make it work, use that money to get an attacking player. Ruben Neves, to me, is a good player in a good system, in a good team that moves the ball well. I just don't think he will come in and just raise the bar from Granit Xhaka. Do I think he's better than Granit Xhaka? Yeah, but I don't think he's, you know, like clear of him where you're just going to see a crazy level of improvement. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think, and I'm sorry to say this to all Arsenal fans, I don't see Arsenal signing Basuma in this window. I just don't see it. I don't think that Mikel Arteta wants a centre midfielder like that. I think he looks at Thomas Partey as the energy, as the power, as the box-to-box player, and I think he wants a centre midfielder next to him that can get the ball off the centre-back, that can start attacks, that can get us playing, and he will look for a Ruben Neves, you know, maybe an Aouar, but for me, Aouar will want Champions League football. Ruben Neves is not in the position to demand that now. You know, Neves 18 months ago could have got Man City. Now he's accepting Arsenal. He just wants to get out of Wolves. Nuno's gone. That's the position we're in. Over 1,000. Hey, big up, man. Big up, Broads, man. 1,000 people on a Saturday. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Can we get 1,000 likes on the video, people? We've been getting great likes on the streams. Everyone subscribe if you haven't already as well. Let's try and hit 30K by the end of the Euros, man. I'm not, you know what I mean? We're not playing this year, people. We're moving. I want to see all the community rise, man. I always say this. You know, Arsenal community, we have to lift each other, man. You know, all the good people in the community, we have to help each other. Big people up, comment on the video, share it, subscribe it, togetherness, man. You know what I mean? We can all eat, man. We can all eat, people. Big up Guna Gossip. Go and check out her channel as well. She's always supporting. Hit the like button, people. Hope you're well. Keep making your content as well. Like I said, we have to all support each other. Broad said Ruben Never more like, you know what I mean? Not Nevers, Ruben Never. Sabitzer now, listen, again, false manager. Yeah, Arteta business. That should be Arteta's name. But anyway, Sabitzer makes too much sense. This is Arsenal, bro. This is Arsenal. When it makes sense, Arsenal ain't doing it. Do you know what I mean? When it makes sense, Arsenal ain't going nowhere near it. Basuma, it makes too much sense. They won't do it. He'll end up at Liverpool, Man United, something like that. We'll go and buy Neves for 40 mil. We'll go and buy Ben White for 50 mil. You know, we'll get some left back on a free transfer and we'll probably get Odegaard on loan. You know, that'll be it. That'll be it. Rise up, CSTV community. Come on, bro. Togetherness is the key, people. Togetherness is the key. I always say it. Big up Algerian Gooners, man. Hope you're well. Appreciate you tuning in. Curtis, Joachim Anderson from Fulham, better business than Ben White. Yeah, I believe he's available for like 25 mil. How good is he, though? Again, how good is he? I know he did quite well at Fulham last year, but again, they got relegated. Big up Mexican Gooner as well. Ledior said, if we buy more African players, we'll be screwed in the AFCON. This is another thing. Players could be potentially away for 4 weeks in January due to the African Nations Cup. So you're looking at, I don't know if Gabon have qualified actually, but potentially Aubameyang, Thomas Partey, Nicolas Pepe. If we were to sign a Basuma, if we've still got El Neni, hopefully not, you could be looking at 5 players away for 3 or 4 weeks, which is not a good look, man. Joseph said, mad love from Bahrain. Big up, bro. Gary Caven said, Curtis, I feel you. Togetherness is cool and all, but I'd rather buy a Basuma. Yo, but we're together on it. It's just the manager, I don't know where the manager is. He's probably back in Spain, chilling with family, and a director of football's on a jet ski, fam. Big up Saeed as well, man. Make sure you go and watch his watch along tonight as well. Big up Saeed every time, man. Me and him are gonna make, content moving forward as well, man. I was on his channel yesterday. He was on mine the day before. Big up, bro. David said, smash those likes up. Come on, people. Arsenal apparently being linked with Van der Beek. I haven't seen that story, to be honest. I get the impression it's more of a whisper than anything genuine. People saying, oh, Gabon have qualified. One piece of good news. This man, one of the probably shining lights of Arsenal at the moment is this guy, Kieran Tierney. And do you know what? I think that at times it's crazy how much of how do I need to put this? It's crazy that what he does is so hyped up, because it's just kind of the bare minimum that you would expect from a lot of other people. You just watch him play, you feel like he gives everything, he leaves everything, he's passionate, he trains hard, he wants to win. You can see he's desperate to win. He's come from that Celtic DNA of, all right, the level in Scotland is not as high as the Premier League, but it's that demand. Top players, they demand the best from themselves and their teammates. They don't accept defeat. Kieran Tierney's got that attitude, because in Scotland, Celtic had to win. Rangers have to win. It means more. And you think sometimes, because so many Arsenal fans are like, Tierney should be captain. But in reality, Tierney's still a young man himself. He's only 23, 24. We should have 3 or 4 people at the club who should be captains as well, which it says a lot about a lot of the other players. But at the same time, it says a lot about this guy. And you know what? For me, give me 11 players with his personality, with his, attitude. And this is the problem right now. This is the problem. The problem in football right now, and this is what me and Saeed was talking about actually when we was talking about Arsenal and Man United, especially as fallen giants. Players feel like nowadays that we're doing them the favour. Like, even the way Xhaka's talking, like, yeah, time for a new challenge and you lot have seen my work. No, we haven't seen your work, bro. I've seen bad work. I haven't seen good work. These players feel like they don't feel privileged enough. They're not looking at it thinking, yo, I came from some mad levels, and I've made it to big boy Arsenal in the Premier League, all that history and heritage. You can tell that Tierney appreciates playing for Arsenal. He left his boyhood club in Scotland, but he's just said, listen, man, I love being here. I want to be a winner. I want things to happen while I'm here. There ain't enough of that mentality, and that's what we need to get out the door. Listen, I don't care how good you are. If you don't think you appreciate this football club, just go. Leno, if you're thinking you want to leave and play in Europe, go. Get out the door. Get out the door. Get rid of them. We're 8th. We've got nothing to lose. We're out of Europe. If players want to leave, sell them. Sell them. I don't care. There's no player at Arsenal to me that I look at and I think, boy, we can't lose him. Obviously, your Sakas, your Smith Rowes, they're young players. They're not going to want to leave at this stage. And this is the problem. These men have to, put that heart in. But this guy, Kieran Tierney, Chris Wheatley, Chris Wheatley is becoming the GOAT of transfer news for Arsenal right now. I'm not lying. He's had a big summer so far, man. These men are struggling right now. You know what I mean? Saeed said, yo, Curtis, you are the next one to make this your full-time job, bro. Let's hope so, my bro. Let's hope so. We all have to, build a strong community and move forward. Sir Kieran, Arsenal in talks. Chris Wheatley said, exclusive, Arsenal have opened talks with Kieran Tierney over a new contract. And he goes on to say, Arsenal are set to open contract talks. Tierney has been a shining light since signing for Arsenal and is in line to be rewarded with a new contract. Apparently a new 4-year deal. And listen, do you know what? The one negative I'll say about Kieran Tierney, and this is the only one, he is injury prone. I worry about his injuries. He gets a lot of muscle injuries as well, which is a worry, you know. Even when we signed him, he was injured. He just had a hernia operation at Celtic. But a lot of it, again, I think he's not having two left backs. You know, he's being played every game. And he breaks down. You need another left back so you can rotate him. So he's one of the players that might actually benefit from no Europe this season. Kevy Kev said, agree our midfield is missing. Partey was ruined last season. I said it so many times at the start of the season. I said, we're going to pollute this guy. It's like a clean river, and we are going to pollute him with the rubbish that we've got around him in midfield. And it happened. He didn't look anything like the player that was at Atletico. Guna Gossip TV said, do you think Arteta could be the right man for the job if he got the right players? Gabriel and Partey have even been good signings, and we know these players have let us down for years. Listen, that's the last thing that Mikel Arteta has got, is that he can turn around and say, I have not been able to build my own team yet. You know, that's the only thing that he's got left. You know, if he gets back this summer and it doesn't work, he has to go. If he gets backed and it works, then we can say, do you know what? Maybe you was a better manager than people like me was saying, but you just didn't have the players that you needed. So that's the last thing for Mikel Arteta, really. You know, he needs backing this summer, but so far, no movement. We're just linked with every player in Europe at the moment. 1,100 people watching, people. Can we get the likes up to 1,000? It's a big target. I really appreciate you guys and girls tuning in on this Saturday. Great weather, Euros games on. So I appreciate your time. And subscribe. Let's hit 30K by the end of the Euros, man. Let's start next season off on a positive note, you know. Big up Michael Murray. Thank you very much for becoming a channel member. Really appreciate your support, bruv. We're going to have loads of stuff going on for the members and the non-members, of course, over the summer. So really appreciate that. Sheets of Metal said, Arsenal getting loan players this summer transfer window. You could see us going for it. You know, I think we're really trying to get Odegaard back on loan. And yeah, I can see it. I can see it, man. Bread is bread, cheese is cheese business, you know. Trying to get loans all over the place. Saeed said, DM me later if you want to jump on my watch on. But yeah, 100, bro. If I don't do a watch along, I don't mind jumping on. Curtis Depay's shirt is on sale on the Barcelona store. He hasn't even signed yet. Big up from Australia. I think they're gonna get him. You know, I think they're definitely gonna get him. Odegaard is useless, someone said. People saying, is that the real Saeed? It's crazy that you can't just click on their page from here and find out. YouTube really need to sort that out. Isco on a 2-year loan deal. You could see it, man. Typical Arsenal getting the leftovers. Just get De Paul. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about that yesterday. I will be looking at that in a little while. Very, very good player. Which Euro team are you supporting? Listen, I support England, of course, but I can't lie. I've always enjoyed watching France in the Euros. I think it was just the Arsenal thing, man. Arsenal always gave us that connection to the French team. So, you know, we had Anelka, we had Henry, you know, Petit, Pires, Wiltord. You know, we've had so many over the years. So I've always had a bit of a, you know, France are like my second favorite team. And I've got a little bit of French family in the like background, like granddads and great grandparents. There's a little French there. So yeah, I'm a little, you know, little French. So yeah, France are the team that I like after, man. Vieira, did I not even mention Vieira, the big man? MD said North Macedonia. Amazing that they qualified, man. Kante, yeah, well, he should have been at Arsenal, you know. Mike said, big up Curtis Can't. Just going into this story, it said he will be given a new contract, apparently £100,000 a week and a 4-year deal. And Mikel Arteta was even talking about him potentially being a future captain. I think when Aubameyang goes or starts getting dropped, I do think that Kieran Tierney will end up with the armband eventually. So we'll have to see. But yeah, listen, I think that's great news. Keep hold of your best players and tie them down to new contracts. Yeah, 10 minutes till kickoff. I'll wrap this up in 10 minutes because I realise Denmark-Finland is coming on in 10 minutes. So I'll leave you guys to watch that. Tim Smith said, I've got a double, 325-1. Italy and Werner top goal scorer. If that comes in, mate, it'll be a good summer for you, Tim, I'm telling you. Jamal said, it's coming home, Curtis. Save this comment. Listen, I hope it does. I really hope it does, man. But we'll see. I think England have got a harder game than they think. A lot of people in the English press are talking like we're just going to roll Croatia over and forgetting that Croatia beat England in the World Cup semi-final. So I think England have got a tough game tomorrow. Very tough. Broad said his international teams, England, France, Brazil, Jamaica. Standard, bro. Standard. England, you know what I mean? Jamaica, standard. France and Brazil. Everyone loves Brazil, man. They perfected football, didn't they, man? DG, make sure you hit the like button, people. Come on. Go check out my bro's channel as well. Go and subscribe. Like I said, we did some... Listen, man, it's a good... You know what? It's a good time for the content creators. It really is. I feel like I have to big up people in this community who are putting in a lot of work, you know, in a difficult time. You know, we've had a pandemic for over a year. People have been grafting, you know, trying to put out content. I was saying to someone yesterday that, you know, I watch YouTube more than I watch TV. You know, I hardly watch TV unless I'm watching like a Netflix series or something like that. I watch YouTube all the time, you know. So, yeah, man, big up everyone in the community doing their thing, man. I don't even want to finish first in our group. Yo, I can't believe that someone was telling me yesterday that England get the group that France and Portugal and them lot are in. So if England get one of them in the last 16, it could be a long tournament. They might be home real quick. Zach said, me too. I'm on YouTube all the time, bro. Loving this community. Yeah, man. You know, you can get involved. It's interactive. You know what I mean? I love it, man. Zenith said, my greatest fear at the start of the season is El Neni and Partey in the midfield and panic by another midfielder in the last hours. You can see it happening, bro. You can see it happening. You know, last day of the window, panic by Ruben Neves for 40 million. False manager said 15 million Pereira. We need to become bargain FC. I do not understand why Arsenal are not all over this guy. I've said it for the last 2 weeks. 15 million they want for him. It makes no sense. He's 25. He scored 11 goals at West Brom. He scored against Arsenal. He's Brazilian. He's aggressive. He's skillful. He takes set pieces. It's an absolute no-brainer. But it makes too much sense. Arsenal won't do it, you know? Put some content on TikTok. You will smash it, bro. TikTok, man. I don't know if that's for me, bro. Serious. I let the youths them deal with that, man, you know? Do you think we should sell or keep Joe Willock? I think Joe's done enough to stay, but because Mikel Arteta's in charge and the system that he plays, if we got the 25 million for Joe Willock, I would let him go because I don't think he will get in the Arsenal team because of the system we play. I just don't. I do like him. If there was a different manager, I would keep him. Kaylee said, Rodrigo De Paul this season in Serie A, third in assists, first in key passes, first in chances created, first in passes in the box, expected assists, pass progression, and 12 man of the matches. You know these stats like expected assists and expected goals? These are the stats, yeah, where mentally I just switch off from football. Like expected. Like, what was you expect? I was expecting to be a millionaire by my age, but I'm not. Like, you know what I mean? I want to know what you did, not what you expected to do, bro. But no, listen, I respect his work, man. He's a good player. He did do an interview over the weekend where he basically said, look, he thinks his time is up. When you read the full interview, you know, Rodrigo De Paul suggests he expects to leave Udinese this summer. He said he was very, very sincere with the club. He explained that he's 27 and he needs to move. The problem Arsenal have got with getting this deal done is that Atletico Madrid want to sign him And if they can stump up the money for him, apparently they had a 20 million offer, 20 million plus a player was rejected. Udinese want 40 million in straight cash. If Atletico can't find that money, can Arsenal step in, drop 40 million on them on a payment plan, you know what I mean, and get the deal done? Listen, this guy for me is a top player, but I just don't see Arsenal getting him. I think there'll be too much traffic in front of us. I think he will end up at Atletico. Simeone apparently has been bigging him up. As I said, Mateus Pereira, Sabitzer, they're saying 15, 20 million. Pereira from West Brom, 15 million. It makes sense. It's affordable. They're players that can improve. They've got room to improve. You know, they played at a good level. Odegaard isn't the answer. He's not the answer. I don't want to spend 40, 50 million on Odegaard. If you put Odegaard in the Man City team where they're balling out, yeah, it might work. He might look like a baller, where they get the ball, they keep possession. He's got movement. Not in this Arsenal team. We can't afford to have him. He's a luxury that we can't afford to have. DG said it's a joke that Arsenal ain't trying to sign me as their right back. I'll take a humble 50k. You know what I'm saying? Man's got Hecky B on 100 bags, fam. Give DG 50 racks and we move, man. You know what I'm saying? I know Grealish ain't running him ragged like that, you know, like he was spinning Bellerin around at the Emirates. You get me, bruv? Nah, man. These man don't even know how lucky they are, bruv. You know them ones? It's mad, fam. The funny thing is, I always refer to this, right? I've got a friend who plays in the Prem. And I said to him, first thing I said to him when we spoke about Arsenal, I said, what's it like to play against Arsenal? And he's an attacking player. And he said to me, he said, it's like an audition. That's what he said. He said, it's like an audition. I said, what do you mean? He said, it's an opportunity to get into the shop window because he said, you know, you can get work out of the Arsenal defense. He said, you can get work. And I said this yesterday on the show. I said, how many times have you seen players against Arsenal? And it's like, Benteke hasn't scored in his last 8 games, plays Arsenal, bang, 1-0. Pookie, I remember last year at Norwich, he's gone 5 games without scoring, 20 minutes in, 1-0 goal he's scored. You can get work out of Arsenal fans. Imagine if you was an attacking player in the Premier League right now. You know, any of you in the chat, you're a Prem baller, you're a striker, you're a winger, you've got pace, you've got skill. You're playing against Arsenal. Who are we playing against today? Rob Holding. Yo, I'm getting work today, fam. You know, I'm getting a goal bonus today. You know what I'm saying? Hector Bellerin. Yo, I'm getting a move today. I'm getting a new contract. Yeah, Tierney, you know, he might give you a problem still, but you know what I mean? You can get work out of these, man, bruv. I'm telling you, Arsenal are soft, man. DG saying name names. Man trying to get me pulled off the air, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Cancel culture and all that. Nah, man, we'll speak off camera, man. Don't worry, bro. I tell you, but yeah. Remy said, I hear you on expected assist, Big C, but it counts those chances. Man's really should have scored with finishers, players around him. Rodrigo could be the difference. He's a baller still. I do rate him. Yeah, these men are getting holidays booked when they're playing Arsenal. You know what I mean? I'll quickly round up. We're kicking off in 2 minutes. I don't want to interrupt your Euros content, people. Obviously, yesterday, the Euros kicked off. Italy slapped Turkey all over the place. I was actually bigging Turkey up before that game. Although I did rate Italy. I didn't think Turkey would beat Italy, but Italy looked proper. Italy looked proper, man. Mancini's got them playing. I seen Mancini in the Armani suit and that. I was thinking, I ain't seen Mancini managing for time. This guy's won the Prem and everything. Italy, man, they're looking like a problem. They look like a team that's going to go far in this tournament still. They really do. So Italy slapped up Turkey, man. Turkish was hella stressed yesterday at the watch-along, man. It was a bad defeat. And then obviously today, Gareth Wales won, Switzerland won. An absolute snorefest in the first half. Second half, Wales came to light, got an equaliser, good header. Wales, I think they'll take a draw against Switzerland. I think they'll think that they can beat Turkey and qualify. And then they move, Then they move. So good draw for Wales. That Ramsey played all right in that game. Bale wasn't the best. It's Gareth Wales, man. He carries half of that country on his back himself, although he was pretty poor today, to be honest. As I said, people, just be patient with me with the Euro watch-alongs. I think the first round of games, I'm going to be a little bit, I'll do the odd watch along. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll do the odd watch along in the first group of like games. I just don't want to burn myself out. You know, I know what this is like in tournaments, man. Some of the games are real cagey and you get, you know, it tires you out. So I will be doing watch alongs, of course. I may do the Belgium one later, and I will be doing the England one tomorrow. And then we'll just cherry pick, you know what I mean? And then as we get through the groups, then I'll be doing daily ones, you know. But listen, people, appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to let you all go and watch Denmark against Finland. Over 1,000 of you in here still, people. Fantasy League didn't start great for me yesterday because I didn't realize that I had a Turkish defender in there, man, and they lost 3-0. So I'm struggling already. Anyone in the Fantasy League, you're probably above me in the table. But listen, people, really appreciate you tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock. England against Croatia, and I will do an Arsenal video later in the evening as well. Smash a like on this video and subscribe. Before I go, big up was a 271 with a super chat. Big C just joined. Big up watching the Wales game, and I see man like Coach Earpod on the touchline loving the content. I think he's just there on holiday because I don't think he's a serious coach at this point. I'm writing him off at this point, was a man serious. Big up everyone for tuning in. Enjoy your Euros content. Look out for the notification. I might actually do the Belgium-Russian game later because I've actually got 20 quid on Lukaku to finish as top scorer. So, you know, I've got a slight interest in that. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. I'll see you all later. Smash a like and subscribe. Take care, everyone. Bless.